Welcome to the Nintendo Dads, episode 586, recorded on July 2nd, 2026. Happy birthday, America! On this week's episode, we talk about Raiders of the Lost Splatoon, PlayStation and the Temple of Doom, and Metroid's Last Crusade. Jesse, you know what to do.
What's up, everybody? I'm back. It's episode 586 of Nintendo Dads. At least somebody said yay. I mean, like, I gave you an opportunity. You did nothing.
I was drinking. I was taking a swig of my Mountain Dew.
All right. Well, I'll give you a pass this time. It's July 2nd, 2026. And joining me on the show tonight is Tim and Jesse as we celebrate 250 years of America.
America.
I can't finish that lyric of the song because we're a family-friendly podcast. Right?
Fair enough.
Yes. But yeah. Anyway, how are you gents doing?
I am happy I have tomorrow off.
Yes, but same here. But it'd be better if my air conditioning worked. But it doesn't not work, but it doesn't work great. So it could be worse, but I want it better.
Yes. And you probably preferably want it better without having to pay a lot of money either.
Right, which is not happening because I'm going to owe like $3,000 to get this thing fixed.
Oh.
Apparently the part that failed, it's a new AC unit as of last year because, it was installed when they had the house flippers did their flipping. But the compressor apparently failed, so the part itself was under manufacturer's warranty, but the labor is not. And then
they always find a way to get you.
Yeah, and then of course it still needs the cost of the Freon is.
And apparently Freon is stupid expensive right now.
Yeah, well, this is over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, they've used 3 different types of Freon, the newer, the cheaper, and they did confirm that my unit does use the newest and the cheapest, but it's still going to be like $500 to.
Yuck.
It's like $50 a pound or however they measure it. So that's like, it would be like $500 for that alone.
That's crazy.
But hey, not sweating, just sitting there is worth it.
Definitely. I do plan on going. I said during pre-show that I don't have any plans for the 4th. I plan on staying home and avoiding people. One thing I forgot about that I do want to do is I want to go to Andy's. They have a red, white, and blue type of dessert that they're debuting and only is going to be around for a limited time. So it's like a brownie sprinkle ice cream thing. So
are all of the staff their toys?
No, not that. Not that Andy.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. We don't have Andy's in West Tennessee.
Oh, too bad.
I don't know what an Andy's is either.
Do you guys have like a Sheridan's?
I don't know what that is.
As a hotel, yes.
Okay, no, because this is basically
Sheridan Hotel.
Not that either. It's like a frozen custard fast food place.
Sure, okay. Sure. We used to have a place here called Shakes Frozen Custard.
Okay, probably along the same lines.
It closed down though, which is very sad because it was awesome. It was excellent. But alas, alack.
Yeah. We used to have a lot of Sheridans around. They're all closed, but now we have Andy's all over the place. We have like 4 or 5 of them around.
Maybe somebody will bring one around here because I refuse to go to Dairy Queen anymore because a mini Blizzard at Dairy Queen, like a mini size Blizzard, costs like $5 now.
Yeah. Whenever I go to the Dairy Queen, I normally go for the peanut butter parfait. That's like the only dessert from there I like. And even now, I think that's like $8 now. I'm like, ooh.
As my dad used to say, they think a lot of their ice cream.
They do.
Yeah. Well, we think a lot of our show and not wasting your time. So enough about us. Let's talk about the news, shall we? And our news is brought to us each and every week by our friends of the show over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and our folks who throw their Twitch subscriptions our way as well. Either whether that you get that from Amazon Prime or you subscribe through Twitch, you also get access to the Discord server that we run for our community. And membership is as simple as signing up by Twitch Prime subscription or $1 a month. Just $1 a month gets you in the door. $5 gets you the full slate of sub channels, and then $10 gets you pre-post show audio and some other goodies. $30 is our Patreon producer tier and gets you on the show. And so we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon and Twitch family and friends of the show for supporting us. And we don't take it lightly that that you give hard-earned money to us to help us do things. And so we really, really appreciate that. And I hope that we don't take that for granted. And we are just so very thankful for that. Yeah. So patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. You can go over there and join up today. And if you do so, you get an ad-free feed of the show, as well as the fact that you can sign up not just for a month, but you can sign up for a year, and we give you a month free if you do that. So anyway, thanks so much for supporting us. Let's talk some news. Hey, we had a Splatoon Raiders Direct this week. Splatoon, did I say Splatoon 2? Or I don't know what I said.
You said Splatoon Raiders.
I'm tired. I don't know. It's been a week.
It's
been a long week, and I just want to go to sleep and eat barbecue. Anyways, Splatoon Raiders is launching July 23rd, which is fairly soon. Is exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2. $49.99 digitally, $59.99 physically. And this Direct gave us a pretty good chunk of footage. I'm going to fully admit that I did not watch this, okay, at all, because my hype for this game is on a very low, because I'm not good at Splatoon and I don't like it. So Tim, did you watch this? Jesse, did you watch this?
I watched it.
I did not.
Okay, so Tim, we're going to let you tell us all about the Splatoon Raiders Direct because we didn't do our homework, and I apologize. I meant to watch it today, but I forgot.
I did check, and there is pre-order available now for both, pre-ordering digitally and pre-ordering a physical copy from Nintendo, if you so choose.
Yes. Yep. And it's as you mentioned, it is single player focused, which I found very interesting. They kept trying to say that it is single player focused, but just like any other type of looter shooter type thing, you can bring in call in a friend. You can do multiplayer co-op, or you can even get,
or it depends on the friend.
Right. You can also use a help feature that they're going to bring out that they have available too, kind of like Elden Ring type of thing, where they can come in and help you defeat a boss. And then once you beat the boss, they're gone. They don't stick around. So, but you explore diverse zones, mining areas, Salaminide, Pete, I can't pronounce whatever words they're using. Salmonid dens, dungeons together, gather loot. Yeah, Salmonid. You keep all salvage weapons and items, even if you die during a raid. Spend spoils at the mechanic shack to level up stats and unlock more gadget slots. You get 3 switchable modes, which is you could be a tourist, raider, or survivalist. That's basically your difficulty mode. Loot quality is identical across all 3. Only enemy difficulties change.
Okay, so let me stop you right here. All right.
Sure.
So this is confirmed that this is Borderlands Splatoon Edition, right? It is a looter shooter.
I have not played Borderlands, so I can't answer that question.
Well, you go on missions, you get the stuff, you bring it back, you can sell it,
Okay.
upgrade yourself, do all all that
Because
all that
my
stuff.
question is the level up stats you do you persist and maintain them throughout multiple runs, or does the run start you off with the 0 and you level up per run within the run?
Hmm.
You level up progressively.
Don't think that quite answers my question, but
It's not a roguelite.
all
So
right.
the way I got that question was, do you, is this do you lose your progression between each run, or do you keep it?
Yes.
That's what
And
he's asking.
you keep it. So
Okay.
it progresses.
So
That's
in other
why I
words,
meant
you
by
everyone's
progressive.
going to start out sucking, and then those
No,
who
you
persist will get
again.
better.
Let's try to maintain single player focused.
Well, no, everyone within their own environment will suck at first,
Yes.
but get better.
You're going to start out as a shrimp, and you're going to end as a shark. You see what I'm
Yeah,
doing there? You see,
but
I'm keeping the theme.
Yes.
but it's also it's not a matter of, well, I guess you could die in a run and then go back and just, but you got to keep everything you did. So
Right. But I mean, there's
so
got to be
yeah,
some type of level progression. That's what we're getting at.
there is,
You
yes.
progressively get more
You get
powerful.
better as you keep going and you keep
Yeah.
trying. Even if you die and you go back to the start, you still kept everything that you had got and comply your stats when you go back, and hopefully
Yeah.
got better. So uh there's
Okay.
there's going to be new combat and gear. There's over 100 variations to discover. Enemies drop them, and rare versions feature unique perks. You also have different types of ink takes that you can pick from based on your play style. So if you want to use the speed tank, that will help you with fast movement and evasion. And you get gadgets like the blast boot for dash and dash bomb and booyarang. Then there's a power tank, crowd control, and heavy hits. Gadgets are splatchet, shield breaking melee, or splatolites,
I
orbiting
do not like
defense,
these words.
and spin wheel, which is a boss lock on.
This is
And then
almost as bad as Pokemon.
there's tactical tank, which is a strategic setup where you use gadgets such as shot pot, which is a turret, bomb loons, chained explosives, and tether whale, laser link.
So to me, if you're classifying this, like let's say Team Fortress 2, you got a scout, a heavy, or the tactical guy. Like, right?
You
Scout
have
gets
your
in and gets
choices.
out
Yeah.
pretty quick. Heavy is I'm going to go in and do some damage, and then the tactical tank lets you got to manage it with gadgets. You're not very
Right.
powerful on your own, but you can think a little bit and plan ahead,
Right.
kind of like trapping enemies and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I like it.
So yeah, if you're doing the co-op thing up to go in and figure out who's going to play who and figure out your team.
Hmm.
So speaking of which, up to 4-player online or local wireless co-op for main story. And then solo players can summon temporary online assistance for tough raids.
Darth Platypus says, coming soon, Pokemon Splatoon crossover. No one can pronounce anything.
No. No.
Would it
And
be
yes, I am.
Poketoon or Splatamon?
Yes. Yes.
I don't like either of those either.
Splatamon. Got it.
Not a splat 'em all.
Splatamon.
So, and there's extras to Cross Promo Splatfest is coming to Splatoon 3 between July 10th to July 12th. Past Splatoon amiibos grant legacy gear, new Raider amiibos unlock custom outfits, And then deep cut themed Joy-Con 2 controllers launch alongside the game, which is that blue and yellowish colors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think it's a stretch to call them deep cut themed Joy-Con when it's like just two primary colors.
Yeah, so they're doing a Splatfest the same time they're doing a Tetris 99 event.
Yep, for an entirely different game.
Yep.
They could have had corporate synergy here and just done it all at once. But no.
But why be smart?
Yeah. So another thing to note here, if you're looking to try this game out, just if the direct was not enough for you, there are reports of a demo for this popping up in kiosks, like at Target and different retail stores. So if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 near you, at one of those, you can go check out Splatoon Raiders for a few minutes. It just strikes me as odd, though, that they would do a demo to in-home consoles for Star Fox, but they don't do a demo for Splatoon Raiders.
Yeah, I
It just
wonder.
goes to retail.
That is a good point, and there's just it always bums me out when we don't get it right away at the same
Sure.
time too. Maybe there's some sort of marketing strategy behind that I'm not aware
I
of.
wonder if
'Cause-
this is Nintendo telling retailers, we're not going to pull a PlayStation on you. Settle down.
yeah,
Hmm.
get people in the store type of thing.
Or
Yeah.
or was the home console delivery of Star Fox a lack of confidence in sales?
That's possible too.
Because they know Splatoon's fan base is going to they're going to show up on July
Yeah, and
23rd.
Star Fox has been iffy over the years.
Sure.
I think that's a fair statement to say.
Yeah. I mean, Zero definitely was not the occasion that they wanted it to be.
Nor guard.
No. So, Tim, since you watched this and since you expressed earlier that you were excited about this game,
Yes.
has this made you more excited, or are you still kind of in the same boat, or
I'm in the same
was
boat.
this?
Nothing changed. I'm still excited to play it. I was excited
Do you feel
already.
like this showed anything that would have made people who are on the fence jump in?
I think so, because it gave more details about what is in this game and how you can play it either single player or with others. So
Okay.
I think it definitely gave an outline of what to expect out of it and where your money's going.
See, to me, it's funny that Jesse mentioned Star Fox Guard because this feels very Star Fox Guard to me. It
Does it?
feels like we have this game and we know the formula works, and now we're going to take a beloved character from that game and we're going to make it completely different. And we hope that it's enough in the in between.
Yeah.
I would love to see what the like the time to beat on this is, because if it doesn't have the multiplayer Splatoon mode, like if it's the multiplayer is not team-based combat, or inking like the normal game, if it's just completing these missions, eventually that's going to run out. Right? If you're following a set story, that's eventually going to run out. So
I imagine there'll be reasons
the
to
legs on
replay
this,
it.
the legs on this aren't going to be as long as say Splatoon 3.
It'll probably be similar to Star Fox. There is a finite time per run, but you could do multiple runs to improve things.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that story is. If there's any connection to anything in the one player games and the multiplayer games, but
yeah,
be interesting.
This to me is, I hope somebody that I know gets this game and I can try it. Or that there's some way that I can get a hold of it without.
There is game share, I believe.
Sure, But here's the thing, guys. You are my video game friends, right? Like
Yeah.
my friends outside of this podcast, nobody plays video games. If they do, it's like, yeah, we play video games. Like I play Tecmo Bowl on my NES, which while that's cool and all, nobody
Doesn't.
wants to like nobody gets jazzed up about the new like Nintendo game that came out, and we don't have like pizza party on Friday night. Like I know Justin has some friends that he does that with. Like they're like, oh yeah, they came over and we all played Mario Kart. No, I asked people that I know to play Mario Kart, and they're like, I don't play video games. So there's zero people around me, adult wise, who own a
Right.
Switch 2. Like I don't know
But that's
anybody.
what game share is certain ones allow you to game share online. So we
Is
could,
this one going to be an online game share?
I have to double check that because it doesn't
I
say
hope
in my
so.
notes, but I want to, I don't want to say wrong, but I thought it did say game share is available. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, if it has game chat, it should also, and it has if it I think if it has both, it'll be online shareable.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go down to the list of
I'm
things that
Googling
it
it right now.
has.
Yes, Splatoon Raiders supports game share. Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Well, I guess I will um get you to game share it with me. And we'll try it out.
Unless Nintendo gives us 4 codes and then the 4 dads
Well,
will play,
yeah,
right?
if they would do that, then I would be golden. There we go.
Yep.
Good deal. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about some other news here. Nintendo Switch has sold nearly 6 million units in its first year in the US, 5.9 million to be exact, making it the second fastest selling video game console of all time in the United States. So great start for Switch 2. And
That number actually seems low to me compared
yeah, I know.
to, because Japan only sales is just over 5 million. And with the potential player base in Japan versus the US, we are obviously a much larger market.
Sure.
So I'm kind of surprised either we are so low or they are so high.
Yeah, I guess the European regions and further out North American regions, um, Mexico and Canada make up some as well.
Well,
But
I think
that's
true. Is this U.S. only, or
that's US only?
Okay, because normally, if Nintendo's breaking things down, they talk about North America region as a whole, which would include Canada.
This is from Circana.
Okay, that makes sense then.
I'm not sure how you say that, but yeah.
Yeah, so if we sold almost 6, Japan sold just over 5, then that leaves still 9 million for the rest of the world, which seems high. So
well,
I'm confused.
If Mexico sold 3, Canada sold 3, and Europe sold 3, there you go.
There we go.
Australia, I mean, you got to mix them in there.
Yeah, they had
And
we'll find out next month.
The Switch 2 just launched somewhere else, right? Too. Was it India or China, somewhere over there?
I think India just recently got the Switch 1 as an official Switch, not the Switch 2.
Wow. That's where Rhythm Heaven Groove has come in. It's a launch title.
Yes.
For them. Here's some other gaming news. We're going to veer away from Nintendo for a minute. Surely by now, if you're in the gaming sphere at all, in social media or online, you've seen...
Which is what I was hinting at earlier with my little snide joke.
Yeah. You may have seen that PlayStation announced this week that they will be transitioning January 2028 to digital only for new games. Sony Interactive Entertainment announced this massive shift. Physical disc production for all new PlayStation console games will officially end in January 2028. This is not just for first party titles, this is for all PlayStation 5 and forward games. Because if you know anything about how licensing and things like that works, all physical games must go through Sony. They manufacture all
Right.
physical games.
Well, just like Nintendo.
Yeah. So, but after January 28th, they will no longer be selling those, and all brand new game releases will only be available digitally via the PlayStation Store or as digital download codes at retail partners. It will not impact physical games that are already released or scheduled to launch before January 2028. Sony cited shifting customer preferences, noting that general community demand for digital media is now significantly outpaces physical discs. Guys, how you feeling about this?
Uh,
Not surprised.
yeah, not surprised. It doesn't impact me directly because I bought, I think I purchased one PlayStation disc in my
Hmm.
since 2020. Uh, everything's been digital, but I still appreciated the option, the choice, and they're taking that away. If I wanted, like, I haven't subscribed to GameFly in a bit, but if I wanted to, I could resub and start renting games again. You can't rent a game that doesn't have a disc.
You also can't resell a game that doesn't have a disc. And so I wonder how this
Right.
impacts GameStop.
Oh, it will greatly. If GameStop's
I mean,
even still around in 2028.
sure, sure. I'm kind of like I agree with you guys. Like I think this is like you go, oh well, we saw that coming, right? But there's something bittersweet about it. Like we all are old enough to remember a childhood of Blockbuster Video or the mom and pop local game store where we would, or video store where we would go in and like rent the physical
Right.
cartridge, right? Or we would get to browse through the racks of actual boxes.
Yeah.
And that has gradually decreased over time. And I'm like you, like, I mean, I don't want to be hypocritical in saying this. I mean, like the only Nintendo Switch 2 game that I bought, period, is Cyberpunk. That's the only red cartridge I own. Everything else that we get pretty much is digital download codes because companies either, devs send us a code to do a video for, or we get a code from Nintendo. So I'm not bought a Nintendo first party game, period, for Nintendo Switch. Um, Unless it was something we didn't get a code for or somebody else, was in line for that. So when I say this, I don't want to be a hypocrite, but like, I don't think that this is good for video games in general. It's not consumer friendly for sure.
No.
Like it's convenience friendly, sure. But I saw a stat today that said in 2025, Sony sold this many physical games and made a profit of like $1 billion, right? But
Yeah.
also in 2025, they sold this many digital games and made a profit of $6 billion. So if you shifting consumer preferences means we make more money this way.
Oh, definitely that's what it means.
But what sucks about it is you absolutely know that there's going to be no change to game prices, and they're going to continue to charge the same amount, even though they don't have to produce a daggum thing.
Right. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna I think Sony's gonna stick with $70 as their main model.
The number that I saw floated out there was that for one disc from Sony costs a company $6.
Which makes it sounds high, but in a way it is it's a non-standard Blu-ray. It's not something that you normally would
Sure.
see, so that does increase the price a bit, as opposed if they were purely standard. But then you'd only get 48 gigs on it, and that's not going to fit most games nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it had to be modified, double-sided, or higher density, or whatever the hell they do with it.
Yeah. It just it sucks.
It just makes
And
me
you
think
know,
too that it's possible. I think it's possible that we're going to see more limited run type games in the future,
mm,
where if there's a market to sell, people are going to, a a certain number limited edition physical ones are going to be more expensive, but people will pay for it. And I think
Well,
we talked about this
someone besides
before.
Sony is going to have to come up with a way to do that.
Yes,
I don't
someone
know
else
if
is
that
going to have
even
to do it.
exists today.
are you talking
Yeah.
about like a
Well, if
company selling an actual physical on disc copy of a game for a system that potentially wouldn't maybe don't doesn't even have a disc drive?
true.
Because at this point I highly doubt that we see two SKUs of the PS6
Yeah, that's
whenever
Yeah,
that
true.
well,
happens.
I'm gonna say we might see multiple SKUs for multiple storage spaces, but definitely not a disc no disc version.
Well, right. I meant like
That's
because I have the disc option
Yeah.
on my
same.
PS5. But again, like you said, I've not bought. I think the last PS5 game that we bought on disc was God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think I have Spider-Man, and I don't know. Maybe might have been part of a bundle. That's why I even
Sure.
own it in the first place when I bought the system. I don't remember. That was almost 6 years ago when I bought it.
So this is a great question from Mecca in our community, and we've already talked a little bit about this. How's it going to affect the gaming industry? But I think the portion of his question that is really good is, do you think Nintendo will follow suit?
I'm thinking not anytime soon because PlayStation I think is running 85 to 90% digital. Xbox is even higher. Uh, Nintendo's still in that 55 digital range. So, and take into account all the digital only games, you're probably looking at 45% digital on a normal release and probably even less on a first party release. So there's still a significant physical market for Switch. So definitely they're not going to do that during this generation. Depending on how long this generation is,
Due
the
to the
Switch 2's successor might be digital only, or we might go another generation without it,
I think
depending
we'll
on how
get a
long that
hint.
is.
I think we'll get a hint of it if, like you said, depending on how long this goes and whatever next iteration of the Switch 2 is, if they decide whether the light is digital only or if a new version of the Switch 2, and I'm not talking about the battery one or new screen one or anything like that. I'm talking about a full, fledged like Mark II Switch 2, um, possibly OLED screen. Would they, or maybe there's even a third version that comes out before they come out with a Switch 3 to test the waters or to kind of prepare the market for a digital only Switch or Nintendo product.
Yeah, if we're thinking we're going to see a Switch 2 Lite next year, it will take carts
Mhm.
because
Oh yeah.
Pokemon, and most kids will get the game on a cart so it can be shared with the family. I would believe. Uh,
See, I think Nintendo's physical dilemma is different than PlayStation's. And PlayStation is approaching this from sales perspective. Like they're seeing the data. Like Tim, like you said, Xbox is almost all digital, probably because of Game Pass.
mhm.
PlayStation is high. Nintendo's probably still seeing near 50-50.
But
Maybe
they
I
keep,
think we talked about that before, is maybe it's 60-40 now, like 60 digital,
yeah, it's
70-30, somewhere around in there.
still
But
half and half essentially.
The problem for Nintendo's physical media is not that the user base isn't there. The problem for Nintendo's physical media is games that just won't fit on a cart.
Yeah.
And I know that game key cards are their solution to that. But eventually, like, are they just going to say, you know what? We give up. We're done. It's a
I
code in a
think game
box.
key cards is that thing I was trying to say for even for a iteration of the Switch 2. Nintendo is testing the waters. It's a way to ease in people to understand or get comfortable with digital media.
Yeah,
Sure.
again, Pokemon Pokopia is a game key card, even though it is Nintendo published here, but it's not in Japan, which is I think it's published by the Pokemon Company, and so they kept the runs consistent. Is my guess, and that's why we still have game key cards instead of being a different delivery system. But again, the game key card is kind of the workaround to that. It is cheaper to produce.
But at least with a game key card too, you can buy and sell those.
Yeah, you
You
can
can
buy,
trade them
sell,
to
trade,
friends.
rent. But it does get around size limitations. It does get around uh, speed limitations of a cartridge.
So my question that I thought of when this news broke, and I was thinking we might talk about it on the show tonight anyway. What do you guys think is the over under chance that Sony walks this back within 3 months?
I well, yeah, this is probably the third. Well, what the other announcement they said is they're shutting the Vita PS3 stores down. That's like the third time they've made that announcement, and that has been rolled back. This time, I think they're going to keep it, and I think they're going to keep this one because they want to prepare for PS6. They don't want discs in the next generation, and nor does Microsoft.
Yeah, and this is not taking effect, like you said, until 2028. And that's when everybody's speculating the Switch, PlayStation 6 will be
Sure.
coming out
Yeah.
in
Well, they
2028.
are now because of this. They were hoping for next year, but now
Yeah.
And I
everyone's.
know we've talked about like what's going on at my local Walmart where we're doing a ton of renovations right now, and the Xbox section is just absolutely demolished, right?
Mhm.
Like it's literally all accessories and consoles and one line of like 8 games, of which most of those are EA titles
Yeah, your Madden
and
or your
Call of Duty.
2K or
Yeah.
Mhm.
The PlayStation section is still fairly populated with games, but Nintendo's section in my Walmart took a huge hit. They went from like, if you think about the way their game cases are, with the locking doors and everything, they had like 4 doors, four glass panels. That's gone down to 2 now,
oh
or
wow.
no, yeah, it's gone down to 2. One side of which is games, and the other side of which is accessories. They used to have a whole like Nintendo games on one side with the download cards, and then on the other side was consoles and accessories. And now that's all been mashed down to one. Like a lot of the Power A accessories and things like the licensed controllers, like the Mario and Zelda theme controllers, gone.
Your
There's
Walmart just doesn't
nothing.
like gaming anymore.
I think like I get it. Like well, our Walmart doesn't anyway. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna get into
because
that.
ours still
Well,
has a row, an aisle of Xbox, but it's mainly hardware.
yeah,
And then there's a row for the PlayStation, and that's half and half, by the way. So it's like one
right.
aisle, but half and half Xbox, the other half PlayStation. And then Nintendo Switch is one aisle, both sides, where one is Switch 1 and then the other one is Switch 2.
And I think that what I'm seeing is like kind of like they're preparing for what's coming,
Yeah.
like kind of future proofing Walmart
Mhm.
in a way. Because I've seen some reports of other people saying that they weren't able to find stuff anymore, and it was like one guy even said that the Xbox was completely gone at his Walmart.
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing is a reduction. Like because like in Walmart's case, shelf space is reserved for things that sell, right? Because there's only so much
Right.
shelf space. And so if they're not, if the majority of people in our town are buying online to get their games or digital storefronts from Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation, then they're going to shut down. I mean, our GameStop here shut down. It was one of the first that in that line of cuts that GameStop made. It was not one of the first, but it was early on. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
gone now.
I said before we had like 5 GameStops within a 10-mile radius, and we're down to
Yeah.
like 3.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we're
lost
down to
another one
2.
this year.
Actually,
We
we're down to
might
1.
we might have lost 3 now that I think about it. But
So what we're going to see is a negative effect, but like what Tim said with the limited run, I think what you're going to see is companies that step in to make physical releases important, right? Like
Even if it
maybe
doesn't have
it's
a disc you can put in there, they're still going to try to do something.
yeah, they're still going to do something like a poster or a package of some kind because man, think about how depressing it's going to be to go to the store to like buy a new game. Like your kid wants to go to the video game section and it's just lines of cards. That's
yeah, no
depressing.
backs of the boxes to read.
Yeah. I would hope that they might at least redesign the card, to show what would be on the back of the box or to give a little description other than just a logo. But I don't see them doing that because, like, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, they're going to keep the
Okay,
footprint down.
yeah,
To
correct me if I'm wrong, but because I don't do a lot of like gift card buying but I don't see Xbox and PlayStation doing a lot of game specific game cards like Nintendo does. Am I right
I,
about that?
it's been a while since I've looked, but I think they do have some.
There's some.
But
Yeah.
Nintendo definitely did more.
Because there's a whole wall of like or section of specific game themed game like cards. It's not just eShop money. It's and again, I'm not super familiar with that, but like
Yeah.
I'm saying that like maybe now I'm seeing some here like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and Outer Wilds and things like that. So yeah, they do. I just haven't paid attention because I mostly play on Nintendo.
Yep.
But along with saying this, like I also can't remember the last time I went to Walmart to specifically buy anything like video gaming related.
Yeah.
So it's just sad. It's like,
Yeah, and I barely go to Walmart anymore.
another thing from our childhood that's kind of gone.
Yeah, it's going to
Sarah,
hurt us more than it is our
sure.
kids probably because they're already used to being able to have that choice, and most of the times I think they're picking digital
Oh,
rather than going to buy physical.
my son is absolutely picking digital because I think right now he's keeping Steam open
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
with as
He's
much
my
money
trying.
as
Yeah.
my son went for his birthday last month. As asked for Steam gift cards for
Yeah.
for his wallet.
Yep.
Just
So anything collectible will probably even be separate. There might not even be any more pre-order bonuses to get something physical at some point. It's just going to
I
be
think
like, oh, if
I
you
think
want
the day of
something,
the day of the pre-order bonus is over with because
yeah,
number one, it costs money. It costs a lot of money to like prepare that stuff.
yep,
Limited run statues and
Yeah,
most
well,
of the time
your pre-order
lately,
bonuses are just now in-game content.
in-game
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
whenever people have done that lately, it's been like, well, the quality sucks and I hate it, or it arrived broken, or this, and there's just a bunch of complaints. So why are
Yeah.
companies going to continue to
Is
do
it
that?
here are 3 rings you put on your main character for stats.
You know what the new pre-order bonus is? It's getting to play the game early.
That too.
yeah, that's part of it. Yeah,
That's what they've it's like you can play up to a week early if you pre-order.
yep.
Yeah, and give us an extra $30.
It could
Oh yeah.
be, it could be still another thing that your reward systems for each of these companies could potentially give you, like, okay, you got this game, or if you pre-order this game digitally through our store, you could use your reward points to get that statue you would normally get in a pre-order that you want on your shelf or whatever for something
And
physical, but you got to pay shipping.
Nintendo's already like well prepared to like do that, to lean into
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And I hope they will. I hope they will.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on and talk some other game related stuff. Let's talk some releases and updates. Out right now, High on Life 2 and Rhythm Heaven Groove are both out. There is a demo available for Rhythm Heaven Groove. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the show. And then out soon, Jesse's already kind of mentioned this, but Tetris 99's 55th Maximus Cup will be next week featuring Star Fox. The event runs from midnight Pacific on July 10th through midnight Pacific, or 11:59 p.m. to be specific, on July 13th. Also this week, or coming up, the Super Mario Crocs collection drops on July the 15th. Dench Attack also is out that day. Fitness Boxing 3 on July 16th. That's the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of that. Splatoon Raiders on the 23rd. And Final Fantasy X and X2 HD remasters on that same day. And then looking a little bit further out, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Nintendo Switch Edition is out on July 30th. Pokemon Pocopia's free update and expansion pass Part 1 and Final Fantasy XIV Online are out in early August. Lies of P Complete Edition August 6th. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered for Switch 2, which was just announced this week, August 11th. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 on August 27th. And Elden Ring Tarnished Edition for Switch 2 will round out August on the 28th. And then there's a ton of stuff that we know is coming, like Orbitals, which, by the way, we just got announced tonight that that's all going to be fully on cart for Switch 2 for you physical collectors that like that. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Lego Batman, Onimusha, Rayman Legends Retold, Kingdom Hearts Collection, Toy Story Retro Roundup, and Toy Story 3 Complete Edition, Nintendo Sports Resort, Final Fantasy Resonance, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, and Dragon Quest Monsters The Withered World are all out by the end of the year. Whew.
That Oblivion also is going to be all on one cart as well.
Yes.
Just to...
Should have mentioned that. Thanks. Good catch, Tim. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And then we're still waiting on release dates for 007, First Light, He-Man, Masters Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, Minecraft, and Lords of the Fallen 2. I don't think they're in the rush to get He-Man out as they were before the movie came out and flopped.
Right.
Which is sad. I wanted the movie to do really well. I still have to see it.
Again, I still like the
not
movie,
in theaters
but
anymore.
Yeah. But what I said about that movie after I saw it is I enjoyed it because I have nostalgia for the franchise. Don't think a normie would enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is probably also a signal that a lot of the movies that probably will fulfill our nostalgia aren't doing so well. Studios are probably going to step away from more and more and cater more towards the younger audiences.
Just more Reddit slop.
Yeah.
Like Backrooms. Because I read this news article after Backrooms came out that said that movie studios were going to creepypasta Reddits to find more stories like Backrooms to make more movies about. Because
those movies are cheaper.
Knockoffs always work better, right?
Yep. Yeah. All those franchises, all those IPs that are geared towards our generation is not doing so well. So
unless they reinvent themselves.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
And I think with
guys, that's our news.
Masters of the Universe movie, they tried.
They did try.
I could tell that they put effort into it. They didn't just dump something out as a cash grab like the 87 or the 88 movie might have been.
The 88 movie is streaming for free on Tubi. And awesome. I think I'm going to watch it tomorrow night. just cause it's
I
been a
remember
long time.
I didn't even know that movie was a thing until I saw it as a rental at a Blockbuster, and I rented it, and it was horrible. But I watched
It
it
is
because
horrible, but you know what? Here's the deal. I love Frank Langella in that movie as Skeletor. He
yeah,
shines a
yeah,
turd better than any actor in Hollywood in that movie.
that again, Skeletor probably is I agree would have been a highlight of that movie, just like he is a highlight in the new one.
Yeah.
Even though I know people like to crap on Jared Leto, but he did a good job.
I just, they could have just hired me and we'd have been okay because he wouldn't have sounded like every other, British actor out there. And I would have done it for,
Hey man, you
$1,000 and a plane.
boob!
There you go. I would have done it for $1,000 and a plane ticket, maybe some In-N-Out burger. I don't know. But can you come in and read these Skeletor lines? Yes, I can.
You would get paid more. You get the minimum at least for the contract they have for noobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd at least have to actually mocap yourself. It's not
I
just
mean,
an audio gig.
Jared Leto didn't even do press for the movie. They didn't have to have me. Focus on the other people. Send me home.
True.
They're like, who did Skeletor? Some guy from West Tennessee. You know. Anyway, that's our news. Let's stop here for an ad from our good friends over at the TGL podcast.
Hi, Nintendo Dads listeners. I'm Mono, host of Tokyo Game Life, a podcast that takes you inside Japan's video game scene from the heart of Tokyo. Every episode features amazing guests, including developers, creators, and superfans, as we explore the places, history, and stories that make Japanese gaming so fascinating, with a heavy focus on Nintendo. From retro game stores and gaming exhibits to Nintendo history and overlooked franchises, and how Japanese culture affects games, you'll hear conversations and perspectives you won't find on any other gaming podcast. Find Tokyo Game Life wherever you get podcasts or on tokyogamelife.com and get your slice of gaming life from Tokyo.
All right, guys. With the recent success of Star Fox, both from the Mario Galaxy movie and the game that's out right now, Nintendo is apparently in talks to bring Star Fox as a ride to Universal Parks and Super Nintendo World, which I am super jazzed about. Like Star Fox area at the park. So I got to thinking, if you could plan a ride for Star Fox, what would that experience be?
For space saving, I think it would have to be like an AR ride. So you can have your, a headset to give them like the VR effect with the like rumble chairs, like like the Shrek 4D experience. And even my local movie theater has 4D seating now on some of their houses, so that sort of thing to give the motion, rocking, jerking, and then just kind of all happen then in the VR. To let them look around, probably have some sort of controls to manipulate something. That's kind of what I would expect this to look like.
Yeah. Okay. Tim, what about you?
I was trying to think of this earlier, and I was having a hard time because it's been so long since I've been to a theme park. I don't know what kind of new things they are doing these days to where, like, anything I could think of is like when I was 17 and went to, it was like, okay,
They're
I don't want
doing
to
whatever
say,
you want them to do, Tim. You're in charge.
I know, but I don't want them to do, I wanted to think of something like outlandish, like something that's impossible to do, but the Imagineers or whoever those people are that are smarter than me could figure out how to do. So it was
like a DK minecart.
yeah, like a DK minecart, or like the Hollywood Tower of Terror that they did, and now it's what the Galaxy Guardians of the Galaxy
It's so
tower.
good too.
Yeah, like all those
that one
things are
blows
awesome.
the other one out of the water.
Right. But I kept thinking, like, okay, there were Star Raiders, right? Or not Star Raiders, Star Tours that they did. That was pretty fun when
Yes.
I did that, but they don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they
But
do.
I thought they stopped that.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, and then there's the roller coaster ride. I know they changed it to the Muppets one. It used to be the Aerosmith one. So it was like, what if they did a Star Tours type thing where you got to go into a modified R a the wing, whatever that is, the R
R-Wing.
wing, and you got in there, but it's obviously a bunch of people are in there, and then you're basically doing a mission. You get to pick a mission. Everybody in that group gets to pick the mission. You get to go to that planet, or when you're in line, you get to pick your line of which planets you're going to go to. So it's a multi-ride thing. You want to go back in and experience the different planets you can go to, but you go through and fly through that and accomplish your mission, and you interact with what you have to do while you're on that ride, and then depending on how well you do, you come out with some sort of reward. Maybe a pin or something. I know that could be expensive, but you're paying a lot of money to go to this park, so why not get a pin? And everybody gets a pin.
So if you have different planets you can visit, each one to give you a different pin. Yeah. So you collect all the pins for going through for eventually seeing all the routes.
Yep. And then you could potentially, depending on what you get, whether you did well in the mission or you didn't, there's certain pins that you get. So you could go on the same ride twice, especially if you could win or complete the mission or fail the mission. And then you could potentially trade in that pin for a better pin if you wanted or something, especially if you got multiple.
Okay.
But
bronze, silver, gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Here was my idea. We would take Jesse is onto something with the AR, the augmented reality, right? Like it needs to be a visual, there needs to be something around you. However, I think that the Star Fox also has to emphasize speed and daredevil flying, right? Like of some kind. It's hard to do that with AR. You need to feel the wind in your face. You need to jerk, be jerked back and forth. Right. You need all of that
without making your audience nauseous.
Yes. So we combine that with you're on mission with Falco. All right, because Falco is going to take the most risks, right? He's the ace pilot. He's a show off. So you're on mission with Falco. You have to put on a helmet that looks like Falco, right? Because you're becoming him. And that's your AR part. While meanwhile, you are riding a dark roller coaster, a dark setting roller coaster like Space Mountain at Disney. Because Space Mountain is all about speed in the dark, right? With projection. So at the same time, you've got this, and here, let me throw another twist. It's speed in the dark, but the track is above you. You're hanging in an R-Wing, right? So you're swinging back and forth. There's going to be some barrel rolls or simulated barrel rolls. You get what I'm saying? Like it's going to, they would find a way to make it feel like you were going upside down and all that. And meanwhile, you're looking around, and that AR helmet or whatever, it's kind of like the Mario Kart ride that they have right now at Universal, is that if you take the helmet off, it's not really all that cool, right? You don't see anything. But there's the overlay in the Mario Kart, in the helmet in the Mario Kart ride. So now we have the Star Fox overlay. And it's, hey, you're going out for a joyride. Falco starts good, and then Corneria comes under attack while you're out.
As it does.
in a training mission, and so you have to go, and then at the end you have the boss fight, and you're racking up points. And to go with Tim's idea, however good you do, as you fly and shoot, because you're able to do that too. We're going ambitious. This is my idea. All right, like you're flying, you're shooting, however good like there's point totals that determines which pin you get. Everybody gets a Star Fox official member of Star Fox pin at the end, bronze, silver, or gold, right? And you can go back and try again. I think that's a winner chicken dinner. Otherwise, what they're going to do is they're just going to turn it into some kind of flight simulator, kind of like Mission Space at Disney in Epcot right now, where you can do like the orange mission to Mars, or it's like green or orange. And one of them, like you're literally strapped in the machine and they flip you upside down so you can feel like what the G's are like on the reentry, and people throw up on that all the time
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're just
Sweet.
not ready for it.
That's what we
So,
want. We want people to throw up.
yeah, I mean, like if they're not puking after riding with Falco, we've messed up. The other option that we have is total AR, and it's just Star Fox Guard, except everybody has a position, right? And you're taking directions from Slippy.
Yeah.
Not as cool as the
that'd definitely
in the
be a
dark.
safer route for your non-puking audience.
Yeah, let's just do two rides, right? Two rides. There we go. Good stuff. I hope this comes to fruition. I mean, let's cram all the Nintendo IP into Super Nintendo World.
Heck yeah.
Make it the biggest
They
part.
need to put it in there before I go in October.
No, nobody cares. Yes, Tim, they'll get that done in 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
Nobody needs to go to Hogwarts anymore. That's boring now. Let's go to the
No,
live
I still
action.
do. I don't want them to take that away yet. I want to see that.
Okay, well then decrease the. You're going to say this about anything I say, but I say let's get rid of the Universal monsters and no.
Okay, I can
Dracula,
deal with that one.
ooh,
That's fine.
who
Yeah,
cares?
we can do that.
Anyway, another question from the community for us to discuss. DatFast John from Retro Logic asked us this: the big three get to trade IP for the next game in its series. PlayStation gets a Nintendo IP, Nintendo gets an Xbox IP, and Xbox gets a PlayStation IP. I realize Xbox barely has any exclusive IP left, but try and have fun with it. What games are we getting, and what changes will be made to make the games fit on their respective current consoles? I'll tell you his suggestion after we tell ours.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, even his suggestion doesn't follow his own rules, but
I might have wrote them
Yeah.
wrong. I might have
Oh.
wrote them down wrong because he
Okay.
just gave us box art. So did I write the wrong games?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
It's right. It's right. It follows the directions.
Well, because both Xbox and PlayStation got a Nintendo game. That's why I brought that up.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
So I would have liked to see what Nintendo can do with an Astrobot, but Xbox would get that and probably wouldn't do much with it. I
Yeah.
have little faith in Xbox right now. Nintendo getting like a Gears of War.
Ooh.
They
Okay.
could probably do something interesting with that. And then let's give Animal Crossing to PlayStation.
Okay.
Like this, for the lack of anything else, that was the first thing that came into my head for no reason.
Okay.
Darth Platypus says Xbox gets an IP and then closes the studio.
I'm gonna say PlayStation gets Fire Emblem. So that would be interesting to see PlayStation do a Fire Emblem game. Nintendo gets they get I had one before, but now I'm changing it. Nintendo gets Perfect Dark back.
Okay.
I like that.
And Xbox gets... Oh, wait, no, I was going to say Nintendo gets Forza. And what they do with Forza is they put Nintendo characters behind the wheel of real cars. That's what I was going to say for the
Yeah.
Xbox one.
Okay.
And then Xbox gets from PlayStation, they get God of War.
Okay.
They can probably
Hmm.
do a better multiplayer God of War game than what PlayStation attempted with Ascension.
Okay. Let's see here. God, this is actually kind of difficult because there's an easy answer for Nintendo, but I'm not gonna do it. Um, I'm gonna go deep into the Xbox war chest for this one. Okay. I want Nintendo to get Cameo Elements of Power and resurrect that.
Never heard of that one.
It was a launch title for the Xbox 360. It was so this is 2005. You control a 16-year-old elf princess named Cameo who has to travel across a fantasy land in a beat 'em up style combat system. And basically, what it is she can change form based on different, like, so she can change. She has 10 elemental warriors that she can change into, like a fire breathing creature who lights torches,
like a
or a gorilla
Nomatrix.
who climbs walls. So there's a plant that can punch foes. So it's kind of like each form can only do certain things, and it was useful for each situation. I feel like Nintendo would knock that out of the park.
So kind of like a Skylanders, but without the
Yeah,
toys.
right. Yes. So for PlayStation, I would love to see them take on Star Fox. I think that would be very interesting. And so then a PlayStation IP to Xbox. Xbox just does not have a good track. Actually, let me flip this around. I want so it's Xbox has to go to Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Crap. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. Um, I don't no, I'm going back. I don't want Star Fox on PlayStation. I want Legend of Zelda on PlayStation.
Okay.
Mm.
I want Zelda on PlayStation. And then what will we send to Xbox to die? Um, let's give Xbox um let's give Xbox Killzone
Okay.
and let them try to because it's been forever since there's been a Killzone game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's give Xbox Killzone and let them try to do something with that.
Get the COD team on it. Sure, they could do
Sure.
something cool with it.
Sure. I mean, that is one thing about Xbox is people kind of, crap on it and they make jokes, but they've done well by first person shooters.
Mm.
So I think they could do something good with that. That Fast suggested PlayStation getting Star Fox, Xbox getting Eternal Darkness, which would be excellent as well, and Nintendo getting Blinks the cat.
Yeah,
Which
that's
they,
a
if
deep cut.
anybody can resurrect Blinks, it's Nintendo.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Tim, I'll be honest with you that my second choice for PlayStation was Metroid.
Yeah.
Because they would,
That would be an interesting.
Yeah,
Like any of those PlayStation studios would probably have a field day with that.
sure. And speaking of Metroid, let's talk about some rumors. All right, so the rumor has been going around that a Super Metroid remake is being worked on. And we
Yeah.
could see that, maybe there's some smoke there, maybe there's some fire there. Until this week, when a listing popped up for Metroid Ravenous, which could be the next Metroid game, with info coming from a very unlikely source, the Brazilian government.
Yay, ratings boards.
They're leaking everything.
Yeah. They may have leaked this new Metroid title. The listing has since been removed from the site, which only adds more fuel to the fire. And then, if we wanted to throw gasoline on it, Andy Robinson of VGC has stated on X that not only does he believe Metroid Ravenous is real, that he also says this isn't the only Metroid game currently in the pipeline, that more Metroid games are in development in Nintendo, but he will not provide any further details at the present. So what this leak actually entails is pretty interesting. And I'm going to pull this up just so that I'm getting these details right. Because I want to be sure that this has happened. So this was leaked by the Brazilian Ratings Board and documents filed with the government. Uh, and so the deleted listing revealed that Metroid Ravenous has 2026 down as the year of production. It does not say who is behind the game, but it could be Retro Studios. It could be Mercury Steam, because we know that they are working on something, but we don't know what it is. But I want to throw this over to our resident Metroid expert, Tim Off, who has plumbed the depths of Planet Zebus many times. Tim, I know you're hopeful, but let's not talk hope. Let's talk reality here. What do you think about this rumor?
It's definitely more smoke. We know something. Nintendo's doing something. Because we keep hearing these rumors or these things about something Metroid's coming, like Metroid Submergence, is
Mhm.
coming. So but yeah, we heard a rumor before earlier, right, that a Metroid 6 was coming, right? So
Right?
Yeah, and
that's
Dread's almost 5 years old, so the timing's right.
yes. And they could be doing a crazy thing where they bring all kinds of stuff over along with it. Like they could finally be bringing the 3DS 2 over. They could be doing the Super Metroid remake we keep hearing about. There could be all sorts of stuff coming, which is surprising considering that we all thought Prime 4 was going to do better. But maybe maybe the 2Ds do much better pricing wise, or not
Mhm.
pricing, numbers wise. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's still some love for it there by
Because
Nintendo.
Dread's still the best-selling Metroid game, right?
Yeah.
It's 3 million. Yeah.
Yep. So hopefully they do something. I would love to see something on the Switch 2 with that system. And again, even if it was a port of Samus Returns, I'd be happy with that because I that's more Metroid. Or maybe there's some stuff they're working on as part of it for the rumored NSO DS stuff. Maybe we'll get some of the DS games, like Hunters and Pinball and all that kind of stuff. So
Metroid Prime Federation Force 2.
or maybe, yeah, we'll get that. Maybe there is some sort of multiplayer they're gonna do. But yeah, I don't know. It'd be
Okay.
interesting
Yeah.
because we don't
Who
have
knows?
we don't have, other than third parties, we don't really have anything like in Splatoon. We don't have shooters that Nintendo does, right? Especially multiplayer.
Yeah.
I mean, other
Yeah.
than now we're finally getting COD, but there's really not all that much as far as multiplayer
So
shooters.
I was going to talk about this a little bit about when we talk about what we've been playing, but I've recently started Metroid Fusion again because it's been a while since I played it, and there have been several times in playing it that I said, "Man, what I wouldn't give to see this in the Metroid Dread style."
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because that game is
Fusion's still my
so
favorite
good.
Metroid game.
Yes, mine too. Dread's a close second. So
You're
I would
you're
love
like
to see.
you're like going on the same lines of the 2D HD stuff when that, everybody loves seeing that. They want to
Yeah,
convert everything to that style.
and on the other hand, like if the Super Metroid remake is real and it's done in a fusion style or Dread, where like
Dread,
Samus
yeah.
has that upgraded mobility and different, it's more nimble. I'm all for that too. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Redo 1 through 4.
let's go, do them all.
Zero
Anyway,
missions, Super 2, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
sure. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that pans out, if it
Oh
pans
my
out
gosh, guys.
at all.
Hold on. I have to stop. I
Okay.
have to stop because we got Crimson Skidmark back in our chat. Do you
Yes,
remember Crimson
I
Skidmark?
remember.
I love that name.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So sorry, I had to stop. I had to stop talking about that name. Love seeing that name. What's up, Crimson? All right.
Not what's up, Skidmark.
No.
I love it. All right.
Well,
Well,
I'm excited. I can't wait to get some more
yeah,
Metroid.
those are our rumors. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Jesse, you're up first. What you been playing?
All right, so Tim and I each got codes to Monopoly Star Wars Heroes and Villains. And, I was originally thinking about doing a first look over the weekend when the weather, when my office wasn't as warm, but Tim already got one recorded, so now I don't have to worry about it. So I did a short game before recording tonight. So kind of, I didn't go through any of the tutorials because I saw the list of tutorials and I'm like, nah, I think I'll just figure this out as I go along.
A short
So
game, meaning you started it at 2 p.m. and ended it right before recording, correct?
no, this is I was hoping for actually something shorter, but I ended up with about a 40-minute game. So the when I told it I wanted to start a new game, I pretty much had two options available. One is, do I want a 2v2 or a 3v3? So they're team based Monopoly. It could, heroes versus villains. So you got heroes on one side, villains on the other, and span they can span the entire franchise, all 9 episodes plus other side stories as well, like characters that have been in Mandalorian can show up, things like that. And the other one is, how many times like how many go events do we want to trigger? And it says, I think it defaults to 8, and it says this will be about a 60 to 80 minute game. I'm like, oh, I definitely don't want that long. So I lowered it down to 2, just to curious about what does that mean. We have to do 2 laps, or just the first 2 people to go past go to end it. I did find the answer to that, share that shortly. So I chose a two go game. I did choose 3v3 with me as Yoda and then 5 AI. Probably should have picked 2v2 to make the game a little bit faster, because it takes a long time for 6 players to take a turn. So, and the turns, it's a random flip when whether the villains or the heroes go first, but once that's determined, then they alternate turns. So I went first, so I had turns 1, 3, and 5, and the villains had 2, 4, and 6. And then there's a shared money pool for each team. I think we all started with 2,500 credits, as opposed to each person having their own individual bank. And the game did say that bankruptcy doesn't end your game, so you can continue on even though if you have bankrupt. And as you play, so again, because I did such a short game, and the answer is the first 2 people to cross go ends the game. So 4 of us didn't even make a lap. Excuse me. So they probably purchased probably half the board with 6 people playing, and earlier or cheaper properties are worth 2. I'm going to use victory points because I can't think of the exact term that the game uses, but that's basically what it is. And higher properties can be 3, maybe even
influencer points.
Influence points, yeah. So it
Influence
could be
points.
3, if not 4. And then if you can get a monopoly and then upgrade them, then that gives you more. Obviously, I didn't have the time to do that in my game, but so like and it starts off with like base Monopoly, but it does have their own little rules. Like, because of, they even says, because of the volatility between the teams, trading is not allowed. But what you can do is you can take it over. So if Count Dooku buys the Jedi village and I'll happen to land on that same space with him still standing there, then we can do a battle. And it starts off with the defender throwing 3 dice into a bowl, and then the attacker throws 3 dice into the same bowl, which can interact with the defender's dice. The person with the highest amount, tie goes to the attacker, wins. If the defender maintains the property, then they're able to steal some money from my team or from the attacking team. Or if the attacker wins, then the attacker gets the property. So property changes hands all the time, even though it was only purchased once. So with 6 people running around, them landing on the same squares is very common. And if I land on my own a property that my team already owns, I still collect the rent from Mysterious Bank, I guess, instead of it just being a free turn. So it does some weird things. And then every time someone passed go, a little mini game played. I don't remember exactly what they were called, but the first one was roll higher than the target. So you throw each player on the team that passed go throws 2 dice, and if more people than not succeed, then they get the reward. Mine was roll 2 dice and try not to roll a 6. And the first person was successful at that. And then the second person says, okay, now do it without rolling a 5 or a 6. I rolled a 4 and a 6, so I hit a 6, so I lost. And then the third person rolled a 1 and a 2, so they won. So 2 of the 3 of us won, so we got, the reward was more of the victory points. Then at the end of the second go event, the team with the most of those points ultimately won the game. So I won as the heroes with like 42 to 37, so it was pretty close. I think the game is not designed to be played so short. Because I didn't even get to a lot of the mechanics of the game, so it's designed to be played longer. Probably even more than 8 Go events if you're playing 6 players, because eventually, all 6 people are going to lap within an hour. So I don't know if you can increase it beyond 8 or not. But then it has like in-game achievements for if you create like 3 monopolies as a hero to unlock this skin. You can break a monopoly, do this 5 times as the villains, and then you get this skin. So there is gives you some things to go for if you would specifically want to unlock the various skins. The game's actually is played on a board, like one of those 3D hologram boards, like you see them play chess on. But this is a Monopoly board set in a cantina bar type of scenario that you would see in a Star Wars world. So that was kind of cool. I don't know enough about Star Wars to say, oh yeah, this was the bar from this, but I'm sure it was modeled from something. So I had fun. I'm not sure if this is something I'd play a lot. It definitely would be more fun playing with real people. Actually couch co-op, you can play online, but I didn't want to deal with that. But I think it would be more fun playing it with people on the couch, and you can choose for each player to have their own controller or only have one controller that gets passed around, so you don't have to worry about having 6 sets of Joy-Con if you don't have that many. So Tim, what you think?
I was actually having a lot of fun with it. At first, when you get into it, you definitely can tell the voices aren't matching, the music isn't matching. Like they were saving money on this. Like
Yeah, they do reproduce some scenes from movies.
Yes.
As a result of the Go events that you do.
Yes.
And they are like animated like 2001 Clone Wars.
Yeah, like
So
that or the
very
the
cheap
Disney
by today's standards.
Infinity War or not Infinity War, Infinity whatever it was. Disney Infinity toys.
Disney Infinity, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They
kind
had
of like
the
that.
stylized look.
Yeah. Yes. That's what it reminded me of. But I was that was the only thing I was disappointed about, was they didn't use any film sounds or anything like that, or even
Yeah, they were
music.
still re-recordings. I think one scene I
Yeah.
had was Sidious was talking to Luke about the fully functional space station or something,
Yeah.
with Vader behind them. So that was done in this new art style. And the second one was the older Luke's force illusion, being, fighting Rilo. That's not right, but
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. Yeah, I was
Okay.
along those. And you see, Kylo Ren stabs Skywalker, and because he's not really there, he just goes through him, and
Yeah.
he goes, no.
Yeah, so it's when you first come across it, it's a little jarring, but then you get used to it, and it's like, okay, you see where it's going.
I
It's
got
not
used to it pretty
bad.
fast. Again, this
Yeah.
is the same type of art style that they used with the original Clone Wars cartoon.
Yeah, it's not bad. But again, it was a lot of fun. I played against the AI myself, and then I went online and played against people online. The Star Wars dads have the codes too, because Ubisoft gave us 4 codes. So not only Jesse and I got it, but Shannon and Bruce got codes for the PlayStation. And Bruce actually played on the Star Wars Dad channel. So if anybody's interested in looking at their first look, you can see what PlayStation looks like and acts like, pretty much the same. We are playing on Switch 2s, and I did a first look on there.
Yeah, and the game is also playable on Switch 1. It is not it is not a Switch 2 only game.
Yep. So it was a lot of fun.
I think it's $30.
On
it is.
Yes, yeah. It is 30. And it is up to 6 players can play online or local. So you can play the board game, and you can play as fast as you want, as Jesse said, or as quick or as long as you want. And you can unlock a lot of skins for not only the characters you use on the board, but also your dice. You can get different dice in there. And if you sign up with, or if you already have a Ubisoft Connect account, you connect that to the game, and you'll get a couple additional things with that as well. So
I didn't even try logging in. I think I have an account from previous games, but it kind of feels gross to me to use it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Ubisoft.
While we're on the subject of Star Wars Dads, just want to mention again that they are still doing a giveaway on their podcast for once they reach 100 subs by August 31st. They're going to be giving away a special poster that was given out during a preview of Mandalorian and Grogu. So go check them out. And even if you don't want the poster, please go sub them. Get them to 100 subs. So check them out. Go listen to their podcast for more details. But Jesse, go ahead, finish with other stuff you were playing there.
Is that their YouTube channel that where they're trying to get 100, or do we?
Yes.
Okay, I tried finding it and I couldn't find it, so I'll have to search further to see where they're at in their sub count. So I played more of Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. I didn't get very much farther. Last week I was looking for the second door to get to the third era, and my understanding was it was in one area, and I'm looking all around this area, not sure where I need to advance. Turns out, yeah, it's not in that area, it's near that area. So I just had to get out of that mini dungeon and then explore a little bit further north to find it. So I'm running around in the third era right now. Again, it hasn't grabbed me. It's like I kind of have to force myself to play. It's not repelling me either. It's just other games are more shiny at this point. So I do want to continue to play this game. It's just I have to force myself to do it.
So Tim, you and I are playing this as well, and so it might be a good time for us to jump in and talk about our experience with it. Are you finding yourself feeling the same as Jesse, or do you feel different?
I am not having any problems with the game.
Okay. So you're enjoying your time with it?
I am most certainly enjoying my time with it. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. But
you don't sound convincing.
How many hours?
No, I was trying to think of what it was like you were running into and what the problem was. So, because I was kind of also trying to get that link for Star Wars Dads too. So, kind of, I might have missed exactly what you said there.
I have you distracted.
Yes. Yeah. So, but yes, the what exactly what are you running into? You're lost or something, or?
Well, I thought the second door was in a tree dungeon, but it wasn't in the tree. It's past the tree.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not having problems with where I need to go. I can get distracted. So two different things. So it's like if I could certainly go off the path and try different things because it allows you to do that. But I've been trying to stay focused on where I need to go with a map.
Like if I get a side quest, I try to do them just to get the reward.
Yeah. I will try to do those as well.
So I don't think I've missed, and so you can go into the quests and see this was available, but you haven't unlocked it yet. Go here to start it, or if you've completed it, it'll show you that you've done this quest is completed.
Yes,
I think I'm current with all my side quests. Last one was, I
am too.
Helping a blind book author, a book, picture book author by
I just did that.
By finding a young assistant to help him.
So how many hours do you have on it, Jesse?
I think I'm like 9-ish, 9 to 10.
Okay. Yeah. Tim, are you kind of in that same area?
I think so. I'm double checking that. Like I haven't looked at. It says I played for 10 hours or more.
Oh, okay. I went and looked at.
Yeah, but the game itself has a more specific time duration.
Mine says 2 hours, or I'm sorry, 10 hours and 22 minutes. And I am currently in a volcano dungeon that I'm not like. I walked in the front door and saved it because I was walking out the door to do something in real life. And here's my issue with the game is that, like Jesse says, it really hasn't grabbed him yet. It really grabbed me at the beginning, and about 10 hours in, I began to get less grabbed.
Okay, you were ungrabbed.
So this is a good part to skip ahead if you don't want any spoilers for this game at all. All right, and I'm not going to be very spoilery. I don't. So I'm going to give you a pause here to do this before I say this, because I think we're all kind of in the same part of the game now. I really don't like games where the length of the game is artificially stretched out because of time travel and it's the same map 4 times.
Yeah.
And when I realized that that's where we were going, my interest fell off a cliff. Because when we were in the first era or the second era, and we were still finding like new areas of the map, like I was all engaged. Like I could not stop playing. I think that first weekend I played 8 hours, right? Like, I mean, and so if I'm 10 and a half hours in, that shows you how much time I've put into it since then. Now, granted, there's been other games that have come out that have captured my attention, Star Fox and others, but when we were still in the same area and kind of on, and I think another thing too that has really decreased my desire to keep playing is just realizing that there's probably about 10 types of enemies in the entire game, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like
you're not changing eras.
Changing eras doesn't really change them.
You might have different color variants and different power levels, but they're still the same base monster.
Yeah, I was going to say the further away from the present era you get, the more hits it takes to kill them. That's basically about it.
Yeah, like
enemies that are the same color in the present era, it takes double the hits to kill them.
Yeah, and I've got the second sword. I've gotten the second bow, so I'm getting power.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting power ups. I'm
but
not. And here
they're not really. They don't feel like they're helping because when I go, as you said, they still require the same number of hits.
Yeah, later. They don't. I don't get that. I am not saying that this is a bad game. I'm just saying for me that like my interest is waning over time, and I am ready for like I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, we can end this now. Like the game can be
I don't remember which boss fight it was, but one of the boss fights, I burned through all of my health restoring potions, and I was down to 1 life crystal left when I won.
Was it the ice dungeon?
No,
like the beholder type thing. That's what it was for me. I had a hard time with that one. Like you had to shoot it with the bow in the eye, and then you had to then you could attack it
Maybe.
Which the boss fights
It was
have been great. The music and visuals
before
have
finding
been
the second
fantastic.
door.
Yeah. So all these have been great. Like the mechanic of fighting what's his name? Kyrick or whatever, Kyfried. Like that was good. But now it feels like I'm just kind of wandering and doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So
I went back
I'm gonna finish it.
I went back to the castle area in the present and found Kyfried's house, and even his staff and his family are like, I don't know what that moron's doing. He's gonna kill us all.
Nobody likes Kyfried in the game. It's kind
No.
of sad.
Yeah.
Which explains why he is what he is, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the last game I've been playing, I'm continuing my Dragon Quest VI playthrough. I almost put it away. The game I got to. I don't like when the game throws, oh, here's a fashion show, or here's a fight event that you have to do so many times to get the certain item for you to advance. And I try to avoid doing those if I can, because I don't think they're fun. And, so one of them is like a best dressed type of thing, and it goes by the style stat of your stat list. So certain gear increases your style positively or negatively, depending on what it is. And yeah, in order to get the magic carpet, I had to win the plush rug, which is a reward for the third show. Which I had all the pieces, I just didn't have them all together on the same character in order to do it. And what I had to do is I had to assemble the bunny suit, which by itself, so it was like the the bunny suit torso, the armor piece, leggings, fishnet stockings for leggings, bunny ears for a helmet, and a silver platter as a shield. You wear all those items, and just the raw style points alone isn't enough to win that event, but you get an extra 50-point bonus. And I only found this out because I look through walkthroughs about how the hell do I win this without having to farm gear. And so that gave me enough points to win the plush rug. And then I had to go to a couple in a Magic City who infused it with magic to turn it into the flying carpet, which gives me now more mobility access in both the dream world and the real world. So I was able to.
Does the song play when you're riding the magic carpet?
No.
No.
Not that song.
Magic Carpet Ride or A Whole New World. You don't get either one of those songs?
No. And then similar to Dragon Quest 3, you get a harp that lets your ship sink down to the bottom, and you can investigate the bottom of the ocean. So there are points of interest there. So I basically looked up a walkthrough and a map of everything down there that's of interest, and just knocked those areas out. Otherwise, I wasn't going to manually check the map for every possible nook and cranny of the bottom of the ocean manually. So I was able to knock them all out except for one fight that I need to level up probably about 5 or 10 times before I can try it again, because it kicked my butt. So I think I'm close to recruiting Terry finally, and I'm only 2/3 into the game and finally going to get Terry. So I have so at this point I've just been going through a walkthrough, hitting everything I need to hit. I did find so again, the main character you play in is a dream world character of the real world's dream is you. I found the real world equivalent to myself and merged with them. So we are, and I think I still have to do that with Millie, because we did it with Carter really early on in the game. So that's Dragon Quest VI. Again, I called it probably the worst Dragon Quest mainline game, and it's still there. I liked I liked 1, 2, and 3 remakes. I like 7's remake. 6 needs a remake. It needs it to be improved. But redo 9 first, please.
Cool. Tim, what you been playing?
Some SimCity on the Super Nintendo.
Oh wow,
With
deep
the
cut.
epilogue. Well, yeah,
Did
because we got the epilogue stuff, to be able to play
I was
Super
gonna say, did
Nintendo
that
stuff.
video I sent you inspire you, or were you
No,
doing that?
I was playing that before that.
Okay.
And I'm playing it with no cheats right now. I'm just going in playing it
Yeah.
right now.
I sent him a video of some guy demonstrating a bug in that Super Nintendo version where if you have a large enough city and been playing for long enough and you load a save state, everything is without power. Even the power plant doesn't have power. And the person who authored the video basically coded a fix by, doing a ROM hack to fix the bug.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've ever gotten my city that big, but we'll see. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna try to do a stream of it one of these days. So maybe this weekend because we got a long weekend for the 4th, but we'll see. Having a lot of fun with that SimCity again. It's one of my all-time favorite games, and just happy to be able to play that again. And I really like the epilogue, um, the SN epilogue, because I can back up my ROM and my save file on my computer, and especially because it's coming from the original Kart, and I know those batteries could go at any moment. So because of how old those games are. So
Yeah.
it's good to have that in there. And I originally got the Game Boy one they have, and that's why I decided to get the Super Nintendo one. I was super excited when they said that they were coming out with that one.
I did order the Game Boy one for,
Okay.
I think it was because I mentioned I wanted to play Mother 3, but it
Yes.
was a pain to play it on the DS.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be nice when you get that. So it's got a lot of cool features, and being able to connect it to your phone and see like whether or not a game is, real or not, and all that kind of stuff. So it's cool. Wish there was an easier way to bring it and connect it to your phone and check it live, like if you're somewhere to buy a game.
Right.
But you can't check it until you get home, unfortunately. So um I did see, speaking, kind of going off on a little bit of a tangent here, I did see somebody put the Game Boy one connected to, I think, their Steam Deck, uh using like a 3D printed attachment
Mount.
to their Steam Deck, and yeah, and then attach it that way.
Huh.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Either Steam Deck or a Windows handheld, one of those two. But yeah, anyways, that's how I'm playing SimCity for the Super Nintendo. Still would love it if Nintendo would bring that out on the NSO, but I digress. Citizen Sleeper, I'm playing that some more, even though I rolled credits on one route I went another route and rolled credits that way, but that route let me continue to keep playing. So I'm seeing multiple kind of endings in a way, making different choices, and I think I'm gonna stop playing soon because I actually downloaded Citizen Sleeper 2. So I'm gonna play that at some point after I take a break, I think, for a little bit, because I want to finish Adventures of Elliot, and focus on that. I took away some of my gaming time because I've been reading Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
So, and enjoying that book. So some of my gaming time's kind of gone away because I've been trying to knock out that book.
Yeah. I've been reading the webtoon version of the graphic novel version of that
Oh
story.
yeah. I'll
So,
probably do that after I'm done reading the book. So read those.
I'm to the part where they had their first time to rest and meal.
Okay. Nice.
So I don't know where that is in the scope of the book or the series, but
It's you're pretty. I don't remember exactly which chapter, but yeah, I just finished chapter 22, so I think it's pretty earlier before that. But yeah, that's again, I'm going off on a tangent there, but that's why I'm not playing as much of these games as I can. Been playing Mario Kart World, especially at Sam's graduation party this past weekend. We popped it in there on a projector, and that was the star of the party. All of his friends and him were over there, even though Sam was walking around talking to everybody, but all of his friends were over there playing. You could hear
Too
them
bad you
having a
couldn't
good
play those
time.
new knockout tours, right?
Right, yeah. Speaking of which, yes, Mario Kart World did have an update on the 30th, a couple days after that party, where they have new routes added to Knockout Tour, Drill Rally, and Boomerang Rally. I want to get to play those. I don't know, Marty, did you get to play those?
Yeah, I played the drill rally, and it was a lot of fun. You
Nice.
start in the pirate ship area, like the haunted ship area, and you end up at
Gotta
Bowser's
hold your
Castle.
tongue and say that.
Okay, not following that,
You
but
gotta hold your tongue and say that.
why?
Don't say it. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not
Don't you
doing
remember
that.
that joke as a kid? Like people told you to say pirate
Nope,
ship, holding your tongue. Oh my
nope.
gosh, what the
You and I
heck?
ran in two separate, different circles.
Jesse, did
Uh,
anybody make you do
I
that?
I remember it wasn't that phrase, but we've had other phrases that it makes you sound like you're saying something else.
Yes.
yeah, okay, I get it now. No, we didn't. We didn't do that. I wasn't in the cool kid crowd, I don't guess. But yeah, not only is like they've added these two, and just like when they added new tracks to Mario Kart 8, it's a separate screen, and there's going to be actually 6 more knockout tours added past this
Nice.
as well.
Nice. Very
And
cool.
they also in this update added the ability to use all the stickers you've collected on your photos. So
I thought
hopefully
that was
that
cool too.
reinvigorates that a little bit.
Yeah. I might have to
Yeah.
play around with the stickers a little bit. That'll be kind of fun.
So the drill route actually has you approaching a lot of these tracks backwards. So it's it's a neat perspective. Like you're driving uphill toward Bowser's Castle, which is kind of pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah. So I didn't get to play those, but I did play some more Mario Kart. And like I said, it was a lot of fun seeing these kids play as well and having a good time. More Star Fox. I'm not as far as all you guys in our community doing multiple routes and the hard path. I know you're going to talk about that, Marty. So I'll jump to the next thing. Monopoly Star Wars, Heroes versus Villains. We talked about that. Again, there's a first look out there for our channel, Nintendo Dads, and Star Wars Dads also has a look on it too. And then Rhythm Heaven Groove. Marty, I know you're going to talk about that too. I'm
Yeah.
going to just mention that I got as far as being able to play the Beat Spell because that's what I really wanted to try playing.
Oh, okay. I
So
didn't know. Is that after Remix 1?
after Remix 1, yes, it unlocks.
Okay, so yeah, I got that far too. I just didn't realize that it was one of those things that unlocked. I
One of
just
those
kept on
3
doing
on the
Yeah.
left of Remix 1, yep.
Okay.
So, I got to try that out, and in order to get more bosses in that game to unlock, you have to unlock medals in the Remix routes.
Good
So,
luck.
yeah, those are
Ew.
tough. I got to Remix 3, but only have 2 medals, and I think I need a 3rd medal in order to get unlock the
I
second
have
boss.
1 medal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
did you medal in?
I got the frogs as my first medal.
That's the one I got.
And then I went back and got a medal for, I want to say the first one in Remix 1.
Okay.
The first game.
Playing the demo, I got a medal in the first and
the very
third.
first one. Yep. Okay.
So I've been playing on my computer monitor where I do all my filming and stuff and recording. And I think the timing on it is a little bit off.
Yeah, if you're playing through OBS. I was gonna record doing the beat spell and I couldn't because
So
the
I'm
timing.
recording on the OBS recording is on my laptop screen, and I actually have a monitor here.
Yeah.
I still feel like it was a little bit off, and so I'm gonna go back and do it handheld
You can
tomorrow and see if I can
recalibrate.
get a couple.
It
Yeah,
should have asked you to
well,
calibrate, but you can
it did
recalibrate.
calibrate, but I still think it's a little off.
Okay. I want to try it handheld too, so I think it might be better that way.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marty. Go ahead and talk about it some more. I'm
So
done.
yeah, I made it through Remix 2 this evening, and so that means I've seen 8 of the regular games, and I think there's 40 games or 40 tracks that you play through. So got a pretty robust offering for $40. I'm having a good time with it. It feels very WarioWare. Of course,
Oh
Rhythm
yeah,
Heaven
for
always
sure.
has
Yeah, yeah.
felt very WarioWare. Um, but it's also can be a little unforgiving with the rhythm at times. And so what I've played so far has been good. I've enjoyed it. You know, I I haven't tried anything multiplayer yet, and I didn't try the beat spell either. That those I'll save for the weekend. But yeah, it's out there, and we've got a first look of it up on our channel. You can watch me fail at that pretty well.
Yeah, that's a hard one to
Uh,
record because I think, again, like you said, I think it's just that timing, especially with having to
yeah.
record and go through different screens and all
So
that. You got to have that down perfect.
back when Patapon 1 and 2 came out on Switch, I couldn't do I did a video of it, but I couldn't keep rhythm at all because
Yeah.
it was off in my headphones, and
Yes.
playing it handheld and on TV was way better. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
even
go try
tells us
that.
not to use Bluetooth with Rhythm
Yeah,
Heaven Groove because it
that's
says
right.
it would use wired headphones for that.
So a couple other games I want to talk about. We've already talked about Adventures of Elliot and Mario Kart. Star Fox, I did finish the hard run over the weekend of Star Fox, which is the gives you the true ending and the true fight against Andros at the end. And for those of you who are wondering about what that is, that the way you unlock the quote unquote Venom 2 is what it's called. There's one Venom you get going um, any other way than this, and it's a standard Star Fox level. You go through it, you make it to the end. You have to fight this golem in a temple, and when you beat it, you go down into beneath the surface and you fight Andros, and you fight his face, and you fight the mechanical version of Andros. And then at the end, you get an ending. And it basically says they thought they beat me, but I'm still alive. If you go through Area 6, which is the hardest level in the game with the hardest boss in the game to me, um, then you go into what's called Venom 2, and the level's completely different. You don't fight through the surface of Venom like you did last time. In this one, it is a dogfight against Starwolf, and it's like really the second dogfight you can get into with them. They are all in this dogfight. They are impervious to bombs and charge shots, so you have to beat them only by tailing them and firing your laser and using teamwork with your team. And it's incredibly hard because they're on you from the beginning. Um, and if you don't have like the charged up lasers, it can be pretty tedious to defeat them and save your crew and do all that. But Area 6, the boss is called Gorgon, and it's this like disc thing with claws that come out of it like on tendrils, and it phases in and out. So like it has these doors that open up, and it has a core, and to actually be able to damage it, you have to blow up the tendrils 3 times. And then the third time it each time weakens the core. And then when you finally, like when it opens up, it has 3 energy spots too that you have to kill before you can, or blow up before you can shoot the core. And the whole time it is just, it's punishing. And in this remake, the way the camera is sometimes, these tendrils move very fast, and they like do like a pause and like kind of like lock on attack and attack you. And it can be really hard to see where they're coming from. So like you can make it through that level and be fine, and it just obliterate you when you get there. So you gotta like doing the hard route. When you beat Star Wolf, you go down and you fight Andros, and he has three forms in that one. There's the one where he's the face, and then the mechanical face, and then he's a brain. And it like you go into all range mode when you fight that. So like you switch to all range mode and you have to like shoot it in a very specific place to kill it. And then you get the true ending. But one thing I did want to talk about with Star Fox 2 is I've been playing multiplayer with it. And it's really fun. I suck at it. But it's a lot of fun. Um, I've played the one there's only three maps, and the modes are locked to those maps. So in Fachi, if you play it's random. You don't pick like what you want to play. So if you play on Fachina, it's the ice planet, and that's like these meteors are falling out of the sky, and you have to shoot those and collect what comes out. Collect the debris for points, and you also like kill enemies. Um, and then if you do the Sector Y, when it's there's a like a capsule that you have to bring back to your side, and like you steal it from space pirates, and then you fight over it, and then there's just a straight dogfight on Corneria, and I've never played on Corneria, but I've found that like you either run into people who are really really bad at it or really really good at it, and I it makes like I guess I feel like I'm the bad side. Feel like I would be passable with other people who are passable at it. But like sometimes you just don't even get a whole lot of time to like figure out what's going on and you know, anyway. But it's fun. I've enjoyed that. The other game I want to talk about is Deltarune Chapter 5. This came out last week, and I started it on Saturday and finished it on Saturday in pretty much one sitting.
Wow.
And that's not because it's short. I was that into it. This is fantastic. Like I love Deltarune and Undertale, and this chapter was just awesome. Like
Yeah. That's a game I need to get
story,
back into.
the music. If you've been playing Undertale, you know that each chapter has introduced like a different mechanic that adds to the base game, like for that chapter. In chapter 3 or 4, I can't remember which one it was. It was like a Legend of Zelda top-down-esque RPG. In this one, you find a feather and it sends you 2D, and now you have a sword and you're platforming and attacking with the sword.
Oh, wow. See, I would
And
probably like
you're
that.
and also you use Rouse as to issue commands to like do things on the map, like pull certain things down or move objects or yeah. And it's just so good. And with this chapter, it's also confirmed that there are two routes to this game. There is what's being called the normal route. If you play Undertale, you know there's a passive the passive happy route
Hmm.
where you don't fight any monsters, you don't kill any monsters, you spare them all, and it's called true pacifist. Like if you can go through the whole game and never kill a single enemy. Or there's the genocide route where you just murder them all, and at the end you get to fight Sans, and it's like one of the hardest fights in the game, or it is the hardest fight in the game. If you do the pacifist route, you don't fight Sans. But this is now confirmed to have the normal route and the weird route. And players who have played, who you've had to do something very specific in previous chapters, I won't spoil, but here's the thing. My playthrough of this chapter was about 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
Players who were on the weird route, their playthrough was done in 15 minutes.
Oh,
And when they were finished, they were greeted by a screen that said, please insert chapter 7, side B.
what?
And so there's been no explanation given. There's been nothing about it other than people are speculating that the Weird Route is going to skip an entire chapter. So
Interesting. So you have to wait extra long.
Yeah,
You have to wait 2 more years instead of just one.
Yeah, and I don't know if people realize how long this Undertale or the Deltarune thing has been going on. I went back and looked. Deltarune Chapter 1 originally launched for PC in 2018.
Yeah, I think on my channel, on my personal channel, I have playthroughs of chapters 1 and 2, and they're like 2.5, 3 years apart.
Yep. And then, but so chapter 2 was a long wait after chapter 1. But then 3 through 5 have come out pretty, like, if you remember, chapter 3 and 4 came out last year on the day the Switch launched.
Yeah, so it's been about a year between 3, 4, and 5.
And so maybe I'm hoping we won't have to wait so long. I would love 6 and 7 to come out at the same time. But because I'm ready, like, there's still so many plot points that are unanswered questions. Like, is this a sequel to Undertale? Because in the beginning, the fun thing was in the beginning, Toby Fox said, "There's only one ending. No matter what you do, there's only one ending." But now, if you go to the
message has been, your choice don't matter.
Right. But now, if you go to the Deltarune website, it says one ending ... question mark. In the features. So I'm looking forward to it. I will say that the music in this chapter is an absolute highlight. It's really, really good. And so I've really enjoyed it. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been playing Metroid Fusion. Probably just a couple hours into it. I think I just got the
game's only a couple hours long.
Well, I got the super missiles and stopped. I've not had, like, if you're aware of the story in the game, I'm aware of the SAX. But I have not had an encounter with the SAX yet.
Okay. So that sounds like about halfway through.
Probably. Yeah. It's my favorite Metroid game. It's just, I wanted to play it. Just felt like Metroid Fusion. So, yeah. Well, guys, that's what we've been playing.
Sam actually grabbed Metroid Dread. So,
yeah.
He got a Switch 2 for a graduation gift.
Has he never played that?
No, he played it before. He wanted to go back and play it again. That's his
favorite.
I
gotcha. I'm probably going to play Dread again at some point this year, but right now I needed to finish Fusion. I had done Zero Mission and I just finished Samus Returns.
Okay.
And I held off on Super Metroid because I thought, well, there's the rumor of the remake, right? And I thought, well, it'll get announced at the June Direct, and I'll know it's coming out in October, and I'll hold off till then, and then play that and Fusion, and then I'll go back and do Dread. But now I just don't want to wait because who knows when it's going to come out?
Right.
Probably 2027 at this point. Y'all, that's what we've been playing, and that is where we are going to close out this week's show. We want to thank you for hanging with us for episode 586. And before we head out, we want to say a huge shout out to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger and John Doe, as well as the rest of our incredible community across Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, X, TikTok, Facebook, all those other places, Instagram. Your support keeps the lights on over here, and you can support us not just by watching the show, sharing it with people, downloading the audio podcast, doing reviews and all kinds of stuff, but you can go over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and become a friend of the show and financially support the show as well. And we would love your support there. Just thank you to everybody who helps us in any way. You help keep the lights on. You can follow everything we do, from merch to our social links and our Extra Life to Fellow Dad podcasts, all in one place at our website. That's nintendodads.org. We want to say a special thanks to our sponsors at Manscaped. Reminder, you can use the code NINDADS. That gets you 15% off. And to OC Remix for the tunes. And hey, if you want to be on the show, you can reach out to us in a couple ways. You can either email us at nintendodads@gmail.com and we'll read your email on the show, comments, questions. It's all welcome. Or you can call in and leave a voicemail at 929-256-3237. That's 929-25-NDADS. And, the old voicemail box has been dry for a while. Why don't you send us something? We'll play it on the show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave those 5-star reviews. And again, thank you for listening. For me, for Tim, and for Jesse, this has been episode 586. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dad.